My advice to the junior developer who is soon going to start their first job or first internship, to the one that has worked hard to get here and they finally made it, and to the one that I was 3 years ago myself. I know it's your first step in that direction and your first job in that field. Things are going to get overwhelming no matter what, but maybe you still could help yourself a little bit by figuring out what is your main goal during the time that you're gonna spend in that specific workplace or on the project. Is it maybe learning a new framework? Maybe strengthening your skills in the language, taking a challenge? Anything that you can think of, write it down and be sure to have it somewhere nearby that when things are getting too overwhelming, you will reach out to that goal that you had and you're kind of going to keep yourself on track. Find a mentor, preferably at work. This one is incredibly helpful. Firstly, having a mentor in general is very important and can assist you tremendously on your journey. But the one that is going to be there at work with you every day, all the time, is something that is from another level. It doesn't have to be like an official mentorship, somebody that you have to ask if they want to be your mentor. You can also kind of just find a person that you can look up to, try to have more opportunities to maybe code with them or maybe be around them without like being too creepy about it. Try to see how they think, how they code, how they tackle issues, how they approach tasks, and learn from it. During your employment, no matter how long or short it is, try to understand which workplace works best for you. Maybe you're in a startup and things go too fast, not enough structure for you and you're feeling way too overwhelmed. Or maybe on the contrary, you're in a corporation where things are much slower and maybe you feel like you don't have enough tasks to work on and develop your skills with. Maybe the culture of the workplace is not something that is working with you and you would like to search for something better. So take your time, observe it all, and make some conclusions for yourself. Time off is important. Prioritize yourself always. Take that damn time off. Did you know that in order to learn, our brain needs to first store the information in the short-term memory, and then it requires a break in order to kind of like move it to the back of our heads, which is the long-term memory. And then it needs to also create connections between the short term and the long term and so on and so forth. Basically, it needs a break. And that's why you need one. Productivity doesn't directly correlate to the amount of hours spent working or at work. This again depends on the working environment that you're at and that the company is built around, but I would highly recommend you to find a workplace and colleagues that actually understand that and preach that themselves. Also, overtime, not a medal, and there is no need to wear it with pride. If you're forcing yourself to work overtime because you're afraid that you're not catching up with the others, with their pace and with the progress that they're making, relax. You're hired as a junior developer or software engineer or whatever your position, but the main thing is that you're a junior and the people who hired you know that. So really, don't be too hard on yourself, all right? And ask questions. Don't be ever afraid to ask any questions. I actually did a talk on that. I'll leave a link below. There is a Medium article that you can read. But in general, activate your critical thinking. Start wondering why something happens, why the other thing doesn't happen. Be open about it. Show your way of thinking. Show that you are actually interested in things and you want to know why something works, why something doesn't work. And don't be afraid to ask stupid questions. Why? Because there are no stupid questions. Sometimes I still have this kind of blocker in front of me before asking a question, especially in a round of people that I don't know. And I would be thinking, maybe that's gonna be weird. Maybe for my level, I already supposed to know the answer to those questions. What helps me the most is asking myself, hey, if another person in this group would have asked this question, would you be judging them and thinking, oh, this question is so stupid? No, I wouldn't. So why would they? And once I remind myself of that, it gets easier and the question is out, all the answers are there, and everybody can move on with their life. And as a last point, please remember that we are all just human beings. We all started somewhere and We all have learning progress, we have our ladders to climb, and we all took that first step. If your day wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be, if you struggled a lot, and if you faced too many challenges than what you have expected or could handle, close your laptop, have some fresh air, and come back the next day. Chances are that things are gonna get much easier after a break. Let me know if you have any other advice or tips for the juniors among us. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. That helps me a lot. And I wish you a good day, evening, night, wherever you are. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye.